Welcome students to digital classroom. Today we will see standard 10th subject history and political science. First lesson, working of constitution. What is constitution? The constitution is the basic laws or rules of a country or organization. Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution came into force on 26 Jan 1950. The objective of Indian Constitution was to establish socialist, secular, democratic republic state. What were the important provisions made in Indian Constitution? Those were: the people can easily secure justice and the freedom was safeguarded. The Constitution is a key element in forming a progressive society based on social justice and equality. Now, in this chapter, we are going to see the three pillars that are the principles of Constitution. The first one is democracy. Second one is social justice. And the third one is judicial system. Now in democracy, we are going to see political maturity, right to vote, decentralization of democracy, and right to information. Social justice and equality, we are going to see objectives of Constitution to establish social justice, efforts to reduce inequality. In that, we are going to see policy of reservation of seats, the Scheduled Caste and Tribes Act, provisions of minorities, law of women and representation of women. In role of judiciary, we are going to see the basic framework of the Constitution, role, significant decisions of the judiciary. Under this three pillar, we are going to see in detail how do the Constitution work. Democracy. In democracy, we are going to see the first point, that is political maturity. What is this political maturity? Democracy became an integral part of social life if it is practiced. Keeping in mind these objectives, we have introduced the representative structure. With this, the democracy becomes an integral part of political life of the society. People have direct representation in the parliament, state legislature, and local government. Free and fair elections are conducted at regular interval in India. It is an important indicator of India's successful democracy. Citizens cast their votes, weighing the public issues and policies related to it. The increasing participation of people in the political arena shows success of Indian democracy. This is what political maturity. The people are interested. People take active part in all the issues or all the rules and regulations or electing the members of or the ministers in the government. Next, we are going to see right to vote. The democratic system in India is based on the principles of adult suffrage. The voting rights is given equally to men and women both. Earlier, the age of vote was 21. Later, it was reduced to 18 years. As the age limit was lowered from 21 to 18, it provided the unrepresented youth of the country an opportunity to become part of political process. It also increased the scope of democracy by including the youth of the country, thus making it largest democracy in the world. The change which came in with largest number of voters in quantitative as well as qualitative. The political parties emerged with active support of new young voters representing different expectations of the people and also leading to competitions in political sphere. Decentralization of democracy. What do you mean by decentralization of democracy? Indian constitution divided the power between the center, state and local self-governing body. It was very important. It is called decentralization of power. Also we can say this was a proper organization of power. The provision for decentralization is embedded in the directive principles of state policy. It helps in curbing misuse of power and allows common people's participation. The guidelines about empowering the local self-governing bodies are given in the Constitution itself. In the amendment 73rd and 74th to the Constitution has given recognitions to the local self-governing bodies with more power. Let us see right to information. That is RTI 2005. It is important to empower citizens in democracy. Citizens should get more opportunities to interact with government. In order to bring transparency in the administration and make it responsible, Indian citizens are empowered with Right to Information Act. Right to information helps in promoting harmony between the government and the people. It helps to reduce secrecy which surrounded the functioning of the government. Thus, it includes working and has become more transparent. After the year 2000, the citizens of India have got right to information, right to education and right to food security. So this was the very important amendment which came into year 2005, which gave right to citizens to know each and every information which was set by the government according to the rules and regulations. Let us go further. The second pillar was social justice and equality. In this we will see what was the objective of Constitution under social justice and equality. A new progressive society based on values of social justice and equality was the important objective of the Constitution. The government as well as people should strive to fulfill these objectives. To establish social justice means to remove the conditions responsible for injustice, insist on giving equal status to all. There should be no discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, language, place of birth, gender, race, property, etc. Equal opportunities should be given to all the individuals to achieve development. Efforts to reduce inequality. In this, we are going to see policy of reservations of seats. Why this reservation of seats were embedded in Constitution? The reason was that during that situation, everyone was not aware of the education, everyone was not aware of the rights they were having, and so this policy of reservation was put forth in the Constitution. Today also when we see there are many riots, there are satyagrahas, there are marches regarding reservations of seats. So what was the policy of reservation of seats? Reservation of seats is for those sections of society who have been denied opportunities of education and employment over a long period of time. Some seats are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in educational institutions and public sector undertakings. Seats are reserved for other backward classes as well. The Scheduled Caste and Tribe Act, Prevention of Atrocities Act was passed to establish a society in which social justice and equality prevails and one is free from any kind of prejudice. This act prevents any injustice done to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. If anyone is found committing any act of atrocity, stringent punishment is given. Strict punishment was given. Now, why was these act very important? Because during this, we are talking when the constitution was designed or when it was built. At that time, the situation was that the backward class people were not allowed, were not given equal rights, they were not given education, they were not given right to vote, they were not given we can say the opportunities for employment for a very long period of time. And that was the reason to bring each and every citizen of India under one roof. These reservations were very important at that time. But today the situation is different. So let us not discuss about today's situation. We will see what was the working of constitution. Then the provisions for minorities. For the minorities, various policies are implemented in education and employment. The constitution has prohibited any form of discrimination on the basis of caste, race, religion, language and region. For the protection of the rights of minorities, the Constitution has adopted various measures like equality, freedom, right against exploitation, cultural as well as educational right. Laws for women. Several policies have been adopted in the post-independence era for empowering women. Provisions were made in the Constitution to provide opportunities for progress. Many laws were passed to empower them. They are right to have equal share in property of father and husband. This was very important at that time. Dowry Prohibition Act, Act Against Sexual Harassment, Domestic Violence Prohibition Act. If students, if you see the laws for women, 150 we can say before independence, like today we are in the 70th and 71st year of independence. So before 50 to 60 years ago, the people who have framed the constitution, these laws, they have kept into mind that these whatever injustices which are happening, they will be repeated again and again after independence. Even if you give equality, even if you don't discriminate, these injustices are going to happen. And that is the reason these acts were put into constitution regarding the safety of women. Then representation of women. The 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment means a part that is added or a small change that is made to a piece of writing, especially to the laws. Because if you see students, the constitution, according to the present situation, whatever is needed, those laws are implemented into it. And that is the reason the amendments and slight changes are made. Those slight changes in the rules are important and those are called as amendments. The 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment reserved 33% seats for women in local self-governing bodies. These reservations has been increased to 50% in Maharashtra and many other states. For mitigating injustice meted out to women, National Commission for Women has been established. Similarly, commissions were set up at the state level also. The Domestic Violence Prohibition Act underlined the need to protect the prestige and self-esteem of women. It rejected any form of dominance and authoritarianism. in human practices were banned by law and traditional dominance was reflected, which gave momentum to the women liberation movement. So because of these rules, because of these laws, there was a flow in the life of women, we should say. Let's go further with the third pillar, that is role of judiciary. The basic framework of the constitution. The power has been entrusted to Parliament to make changes in the constitution as per the changing condition. This is very important sentence, student. Once again, I'll repeat. Power has been entrusted. Power has been given to the Parliament to make changes in the constitution depending upon the changing conditions. And whatever changing conditions are there, those conditions or those rules, they are known as amendments. Changes were made with several amendments as per the need. This has made the constitution dynamic and a living document instead of being a rigid one. This constitution has become lively. You can change, you can make changes in the constitution. It has not rigid rules and regulations that the 60 years ago whatever rules were made by the architect or by the people, we should follow them as and how. It was not as such. So this we can say our constitution, we should be very proud. We should see that Indian constitution, that is our constitution, is a living document. Why it is living? Because as per the conditions we can make changes in the rules and regulations. What is a role? The judiciary has played an important role in strengthening democracy and achieve objectives of social justice and equality in India. Judiciary is given the power to interpret the constitution. Judiciary has specified the limitations of the Parliament while amending the constitution. Now if you see in the previous one where we saw that social justice and equality, what was the Parliament has given certain rights to make some changes in the constitution. Again, the role of judiciary is what? To have control on the Parliament, as in how they cannot make the changes in the constitution. So it was such an organized and well managed constitution. We will see it is the biggest constitution of the world. India's constitution is the biggest constitution and they have many amendments in them. The judiciary has specified the limitations of Parliament while amending the constitution. Parliament has no power to alter the basic structure of the constitution. The basic structure, what it is, you cannot change, which proclaims India has to be sovereign, democratic, secular republic. So these are the important pillars of constitution. The first one, democracy. Second one, social justice and equality. And third one is role of judiciary. Each one has their own role. Each one has their own work. So this is what I have given you, a basic framework of this lesson. Students, you need to read the lesson thoroughly and understand the points. Mark those important points with the highlighter so that whenever you read the lesson, as many times you read the lesson, those highlighted points are fixed in your mind so that you can frame your answers as and how according to the marking system. Let's go further. Some of the important points now we will see in the lesson what they have given. The first one, understand the basic structure of the constitution generally includes following provisions. Now these provisions can be asked for your concept map. So these should be by hearted as in how they have given in the textbook. Republican and democratic form of government, federal structure of the constitution, promotion of unity and integrity of the nation, sovereignty of the nation, and secularism and supremacy of the constitution. The next one is democracy requires good governors or best governing practices. Following are the features of good governance. What should be done to bring good governance in the democracy. Again, I repeat, these questions are asked for your concept map. So these points should be written as it is. You can't write on your own. So these should be by-hearted. Accountable or responsible government, effective and efficient government should be there, responsive government should be there, transparency in working of the government, just and all-inclusive development, people's participation in the governing and decision making process. So these are the important points which are there in your textbook. Can you tell the reasons for the following changes? This you need to find out. Some seats are kept reserved for women to increase their participation in political process. Why women's participation? Because they can put forth their point of view while amending the rules or regulations, or when introducing new rules and regulation. Some seats are kept reserved for weaker sections of the society. Why some seats are kept reserved? Because they also know what are the problems, or what are the securities, or what are the things which required by the weaker sections of the society. If they are in the if they are in the parliament, if they are heading some of the departments, they can put forth their problems. The State Election Commission has been established because it is a different section of the Election Commission which has been established, which doesn't come under any of the government, ruling government. They are individual, they are independent. So they are directly we can say towards the president. They don't report the prime minister, neither the chief minister, no other. They are independent section of the government. The 11th and 12th schedule was added to the constitution. So what was that 11th and 12th schedule? You need to find out. Right based approach. In the decades after independence, progress was made towards more and more democratizations of India. However, in this process, citizens were considered as beneficiaries. In the last few decades, development is considered as a right of the citizens. So these are certain important points which are mentioned in your textbook. You need to read these, understand them. These questions can be asked in your personal responses. The representation of women in Lok Sabha. If you see the chart from 1951 to 2014, it's 12.15%. Now it has been increased to 33%. Today's chart, we can say 2020, 33% of the women are the representation of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The visibility to women is very low in public life. If family structure, social surrounding, economic sector, political sphere becomes more open, women will get a chance to participate in the decision making process that can provide a different direction to the politics. For this purpose, women's participation should be increased in the representative institution. Students, according to, if we see today, the situation of women has become little better. Still there are injustice, but if you see from the past 50 to 60 years, today's position of women is very, we can say, has been increased to the higher level. They get education, they are not discriminated, they have their own voice, they have their decision making power. So there is a gradual increase in the level or the standard of the women. So this is how the working of our constitution we have seen, student. Still, only depending upon the lecture you can't study. You need to read the lesson thoroughly. You need to solve all the activities which are there behind the textbook. The textual exercise is very important, as well as each lesson you should read 3 to 4 times to understand the concept map, complete the sentences, short notes, true or false, which are asked from the textbook. So textbook reading is very important. Thank you. See you then.